Well, Hispanic Connect was born from my motivation to want to help. You know, what I learned, you know, in the corporate world, from university, from education, how I could bring that back and help the community.
That's what I remember of it, and it was a bunch of kids that weren't on the same level I was technologically, and looking back on it, I mean, that's exactly what he was trying to fight, was just that, was kids in school districts outside Austin getting this completely different education as the inner city kids.
Microsoft, okay, saw our website and they contacted us, and we received $15,000 from Microsoft and a bunch of new servers. What we had here was it was a data center, internal data center that we had, you know, for the community. And I said, hey, come here, and I sat a little kid down and I showed him some information. I think it was in Mexico or something. They had a little bit of website, some Hispanic content. He could relate, and all of a sudden the mother comes and the abuelito comes. Ah, papá, mira lo que tienen. They could relate to the content on the internet. So I said, oh my God, you know, that's it. That's how Hispanic Connect got born. This article was written years ago. It said Technopolis is conquering the digital divide. And they didn't have any technology there. So I was able to transfer him to the Travis County Multimedia Academy. Here's their first computer, home computer. They don't know about it, or they get left in the background because of the economic issues.
And at 13, since I lived 30 miles away and I was in school there, he would drive from here every day that I had to say soccer practice, and he'd take me to practice. It'd be an hour there to get me to practice and an hour back every day, but he would do it. He was the parent that would go to all the meetings with teachers, because I was a little hellion and I always needed somebody involved. I was always having those meetings. I didn't have a surrogate dad. I had a dad, and that's what I learned is, from my dad is, raise your kids at all costs. Other people shouldn't be raising their kids.
Jay is not Danny's son, not biologically.
I've been married twice, and the first one had postpartum depression, and I didn't know that. And she left me with JJ. I was looking at all the brown babies, and of course JJ wasn't there, and I looked around and there's JJ with big old blue eyes. I said, oh my God, no, not this, But that day I bonded to him, and since that day I said he was my son, and it didn't bother me.
Being white but not being white, it's like, I don't know, I'm fond and proud of it now, but then it was hard.
He's in Mexico, and we're in line, and I'm sitting here with him, police, the Border Patrol. You, get your hands off him, come on, run. And he ran to the border. I said, go run. And when I got there, they handcuffed me, and he had to call my grandmother and find out if I was his parent or not. They thought I was stealing.
I didn't know my dad was a drug addict until I was 13 years old, but he was the whole time. And I had a better dad than people whose dads were very successful businessmen that had good jobs, that didn't drink, didn't do drugs.
I had a problem with drugs and addiction, it kind of crept up on me. I've had to really struggle with that.
Pulling him out of a crack house with the scary looking people with guns, and there's people passed out, there's women with their kids in a crack house. It was so painful watching my dad come out with a piss stain on his crotch because he'd been in the crack house for 3 days and hadn't showered and hadn't eaten. It makes me mad now, just thinking about it.
Once you succumb to drugs and you let drugs take over your life, then the drugs control you, and your personality doesn't matter anymore.
Well, they say that disease, addiction is a disease that you're going to have for life. I feel that I've come full circle with that.
What happened before he went to jail, while he was in jail, and since he's been out, it's been really healing for me, and I've been very proud of him for it, because the thing you're least proud of in yourself is the hardest thing to be honest about, and I think that takes a lot of courage and a lot of intestinal fortitude.
And then here recently, I don't know why he decided to do that, but he decided he wanted to to join me and start working with me again.
Here in the last 6 months or so, and I've kind of got my dad to fall back on. He's the best cable guy I know, and that's what Netline did, was cable. We've gotten into sound wiring speakers, home theaters and stuff, which was kind of my addition to Netline. My dad was more into just the computers and just the telephones. I'd go around and generate leads. He follows up on the leads. He's my marketing guy. He works the phones all day long. I go look at signs. I go talk to general contractors, find out what projects are going on. I give him a big list of names, phone numbers. He takes it, puts it on his whiteboard inside, and makes the calls, sets up appointments for me. I go and handle the sales, and we both do the work. He did a really good job of making the options available to me, whatever it was. Tech school, college, Army, nothing was invalid to him. Nothing was unacceptable. So, gonna graduate in May, and I owe Uncle Sam 7 years. So, it's all National Guard, but my unit is set to be leading for Iraq about that time. So, if he doesn't eat and drink right and take care of himself, he won't be long for this world. And not having the ability to even just buy groceries is not real conducive to staying healthy with that ailment. So, yeah, I do. And I worry that he sleeps till noon and goes to bed at 4 in the morning just because he doesn't really have a job, doesn't have any obligations. So, yeah. And I worry that he's going to use again, and that's even worse, because if he starts using, he starts drinking, you start putting alcohol on a bad liver, So, I'm really worried about his health.
I'm very blessed to have Jesse, who's really been put through the ringer in my life, to want to live a dream I've always had, and that's having a father-son business. Okay, let them take what I learned and want to do it. He is his feeders. He does like it. He does want to help others.